Welcome to the StockMiner.com. You're in the beautiful Black Hills of South Dakota. I'm your StockMiner, Brian Johnson. And are you guys getting, are your heads swimming yet? Are you guys getting tired of the volatility? From an intraday stand or from a day trader standpoint, this has been great. We got all that nothingness yesterday, followed by great moves today. Did we break those lower levels? Yes, we did. So we did get a break. I was looking for a break sometime this week to kind of resolve which direction we were going to go. We got the break today. It wasn't a major break by any means, but it was a break. So I'm going to give myself partial credit on this one. I got the call on a break this week, correct? Just, if I'm just being objectively fair about it, it wasn't a major break yet. So I'm looking for what? What am I looking? I'm looking for, yes, confirmation tomorrow. God, look at you guys go. You're getting so smart. So I'm looking for confirmation tomorrow. Let's see if we get any kind of follow through by the bears. We have not seen it yet. Look, guys, we get pushes down. I'm like, yeah, any confirmation? No, push up. Okay, confirmation by the bulls. No, push down. And then back up and down. So very, very violent trading here the last couple weeks. Great for day traders, terrible for swing traders because we haven't ultimately gone anywhere. You can see here we're basically right back to where we were at the end of February, sitting right at and just below this 12,000 mark in the Dow. From the daily, you can see us getting right back into where? Yeah, the 50-day moving average. This is what I've been looking for. Can we and will we hold when we hit this level? These are the bigger marks I've now had my eyes on. We've talked about the 20. We got the break of the 20. Then we danced between it for a while. I said, ignore it. Focus on the 50. Here we are, back at the 50, and it's holding so far one day into it. That is on the Dow. And that is also on, I believe, the SPX held. No, it didn't. Maybe just below. So it might just be the Dow that is kind of more or less held the 50. The 50's at around this area here. But the other markets did not do well. NASDAQ here you can see down quite a bit. All the markets down equally the same from a percentage standpoint, but now the NASDAQ, because it has been the weaker lately, showing a little bit more strength to the downside than the other markets have. Taking a look here, you can see down 38 points on the NASDAQ 100. That brings us down on the daily into these lower support levels. Aren't these things cool? Isn't it funny how you just draw some lines on a screen and they just seem to stop? So here we had the 50, and it bounced, finally got something below it. Can't beat it? Gap it. Right. Very good. So here we are below these levels, sitting right on support, and that is where we close the end of the day. So sitting here waiting for what? Confirmation. Absolutely correct. While we did dip below it at one point, it came back up to sit on it today. We'll tell you if you happen to be short overnight. Oh, yeah, okay, maybe we get some whatever news in the morning that boosts the market, and if that happens, then it just is what it is. Welcome to the game we play. However, I don't know if I'd be necessarily super concerned if I was short and holding overnight coming into the end of the week. Really looking for some sort of confirmation tomorrow into some of these lower levels. You can see how well these lines have been working, guys. If you don't know how to draw them, don't know where to draw them, invest in the education. Take the mentoring course, figure it out. Pays for itself over time. Weekly coming back and looking towards this 20-week moving average. That's why I'm saying tomorrow we get any further push to the downside. If we can get the bears to actually keep this down for once in their life, unlike these other weeks where it's been pushed down, back up, pushed down, back up, maybe we stay down. Tomorrow will be that deciding factor. If we can get further pushes to the downside, you're looking at this level here on the NDX for your support. Here we are on the 60-minute, back in or around this 1295 to 1300 level. Told you to watch for these lower breaks of these lower levels. And from a daily, oh yeah, okay, sliced through and stayed below, closed below, more importantly, the 50-day moving average. This is going to be the mark I think the bulls are going to absolutely want to chase tomorrow. If they're going to show any kind of work, they got to do it tomorrow. They try to get this thing back up and above that 50-day. So do we get that by the dip, by the moves that the bulls have been doing? Or any further pressure to the downside, I got to be looking at these lower levels here. VIX daily also up. You know I love this. You know I love the fact that staying above the 1920 mark made me ever so slightly more bearish on the markets, simply from the fact that we did not see fear coming out of the markets as we have the last few months, literally. From a weekly, we are now still at and around above this blue line. Yes, we're back into this 50 and this overhead resistance if you want to run a TA on the market. What I really like is that for so far 2.5 weeks we've been above this blue line. Let's see if something major happens tomorrow to change this, because these are weekly charts and we know they can change very quickly in 1 day's span, as we saw today. But look, overall above that 19 to 20ish mark, you know that I've been waiting for a move such as this to kind of give us maybe more of a bearish tinge to the market. Let's see if we can close above that mark coming into tomorrow. Apple was down along with the market, same type of percentage, 1.65%, and markedly below these areas we had been talking about. And that was staying below the 20, getting below the 347, 348-ish mark, coming back into the 50. Kind of lather, rinse, repeat here for the markets themselves. You're watching for moves back below this 50 and or back below the or back above the 20 for any kind of entries in my book, based on the daily here. It's bouncing. It's stuck between these marks right here. Let it move one way or the other if you're not already in a position short. And I don't like to necessarily short Apple, but if the markets continue their slide to the downside, I think Apple follows it. I really do. So watch for those breaks below the 50 for any kind of short in Apple itself. Otherwise, back above the 20 for me, and holding so far right below this blue line. This is what we're watching. See if this line will hold yet again coming into the end of the week. FAS 60-minute. Got that push. Here it was above this area. Did not get above the 32. Came back down, but where are we sitting? Now the symmetrical triangle is just more of a nasty little chop action here. This will come off this weekend. These two blue lines will be gone this weekend. I'm going to focus more on these lower levels that we've been kind of had drawn in here. Once again, magical lines holding very well with their support levels at the end of today. From a daily, you can also see almost reclaiming this level here. I would really, I'd have to check this here. I'm not exactly sure that this tail is accurate here at this point. This could be just a glitch in the software, because it doesn't appear to show it here on the 60-minute that we went. Shows a 29.50 for a low, so I'm assuming that this is probably not correct. This was well below 28. 29.50 was right back up in here, looking for these breaks ultimately below that. Well, I liked it, kind of below the 30 mark for a trade. And I do like it below 29 if the weakness continues. Don't mind this formation if you guys can identify what it is. Don't mind it to the bear side whatsoever. Below that 29 mark is certainly what I'll be looking for, which means FAZ is now popped above this area we've been talking about. These blue lines will be coming off. I still like it above 42 if it gets there, and or below that 38 mark is probably down to 37 for me. But here's that chop. Look how we're pushing that 50. That 50 has dropped a little further now, so you can take a spec long above that 50. I do still recommend more that 42 area if you want to take a long in FAZ, and then some of these overhead levels to be watching on your resistance. So trapped within this sideways chop. Let it break one way or the other. Still not overly bullish on it till we get up above one of these two levels here for your trades. Be cautious with that. Okay, but overall, market is down. Drop is down. Some of you asked about what I sent out for the subscribers today. You wanted to know what information was sent, or if any information was sent to the subscribers today. Yes, I sent not one actually today, but 2 emails to them. I'll show you what the first one was. It was this one here. This was sent out early this morning. What's it say on my chart here? 11:16 a.m., which is 1:16 Eastern time. Is this it? Breaks of the lower levels were happening in early trading. This is where you should be looking to take some short entries, but I recommend smaller position sizes till we know if this move is going to hold. Currently, you can see the markets are trying their best to hold these levels on the SPX and the Dow, but the NDX, which was already at the bottom of the channel, Those are extra lines drawn on for my subscribers, so you wouldn't see those on the daily video, but has fallen off now and is well below that 50-day moving average that it had been hammering on. Short entries may not hold in their first attempts, but we can't live scared. That's right. If you're nervous about whether or not it will hold, then just drop your position size, keep a tighter stop on it. You can always add more if this continues downwards. You can see how the Dow is doing at that 12,000 area, and more importantly, the 50-day moving average. So you can see the type of information that the subscribers get on a regular basis, especially when the markets are moving. I do my best to really talk to them a lot during the course of a day and try to give them ideas of what to look for coming into the remainder of the day. If this is the type of stuff that can help you in your trading or maybe give you more insight into what to do the following day on swing trades or longer term trades, I recommend you try out the newsletter, see what you think. So this is what I sent to them early today. And then later on in the day, I sent them this as well. I told them that, these breaks of these things may not hold the first time. And that was evident. We did get breaks below these levels only to be pushed right back up above them. So here I sent them something at the end of the day. This went out about 1:26 p.m., which is 3:26 Eastern Time. Feeling lucky. Here we are pressing on the lower levels again as we head into the end of the day. The entries I gave you in the last update will stand, and I certainly necessarily wouldn't slap your hand if you wanted to take an or another, if you happen to be stopped out on the first trade, entry to the short side, and even hold that into tomorrow. The support down here has been pretty strong, so I'd recommend a small position case in case of some miracle bull news tomorrow. But as I've said before, we can't live in fear of the markets, guys. We got to take entries at some point. You got to just know, hey, you know what? This is where I get in, and you got to take that entry. If you're not comfortable with when to get in, when to get out, one more time, shameless plug for the mentoring, pays for itself. Absolutely worth your money and your time. I have a position short currently with a stop, and my stop is at 1311 on the SPX, but you don't have to follow my stop if that level is too far away. And if we stay down here, I'll be holding into tomorrow, which I did. So I am holding into tomorrow with the short position that I currently have. So if you want to try the newsletter, all you have to do is just find this little icon here on the side of any one of my pages. Click on it. It'll take you to PayPal. If you don't like PayPal or don't want to deal with PayPal, write me an email. Let me know. We'll get in touch with one another. I can either take an order over the phone, or you can mail me a check or money order or something to that effect. I'm certainly open to other options outside of PayPal. If you don't want to deal with them, I totally understand. So you can get a hold of me via email and let me know, and you and I'll hook up. All right. And you can get a hold of me via my contact page, which is kind of ugly right now until I get this fixed. Go under home. There's a contact me here, or you can find it under the mentoring stuff. There's a contact me in the middle of the page, or just send it to newsletter@thestockmentor.com. Newsletter@thestockmentor.com. All right. See you guys again tomorrow night. Bye.